Hi everybody. So in this video, we're going to try a past exam question on hyperbolic functions. In part A, we need to use the exponential form to prove this identity. In part B, we need to express 10 sin x plus 8 cosh x in this form. And then in part C, we need to use what we did in part B to solve this equation. Remember, we can use the formulae in the Edexcel formula booklet for parts B and part C. I encourage you to give this question a go yourself. You can pause the video, and when you come back, you can check you're working with mine. Okay, so welcome back if you had a go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the exponential form for sin x and cosh x. We'll need each of these as we work through part A. So if we begin by writing sin of a plus b in exponential form using this one, we'll substitute this x with the a plus b term that we get from here. And then we'll write the right-hand side again using the exponential form. So if we begin with the sin of a, we'll get e to the a minus e to the negative a over 2. And then we'll do the cosh of b using this one. So this will be cosh b, and then we'll add. And we'll write cosh a in exponential form. And we'll do the same for sin b. So now you can see we can multiply both sides by 2, and that will cancel out this 2 and this one with this one. So what we're left with is this right-hand side. And because we've got the common denominator of 2, I can write this all as one fraction. So at this point, we can expand out each of these brackets. So we'll get e to the a plus b plus e to the power of a minus b minus e to the power of negative a plus b minus e to the power of negative a minus b. We'll move on to this pair. We'll have e to the power of a plus b minus e to the a minus b plus e to the negative a plus b, and then minus e to the negative a minus b. And this is all divided by the 2. And now we can collect the like terms. We have the e to the a minus b here, and this is a positive, and this will cancel with this term. And then the negative e to the negative a plus b will cancel with this one. And then we can collect the positive powers and the negative powers. So our right-hand side will become 2e to the a plus b minus 2e to the minus a minus b, all divided by the 2. We can factor out this 2 and then simplify that fraction. So we're left with e to the a plus b minus e to the negative a minus b, and exactly the same on the right hand side. So therefore, we've proven that the sin of a plus b is identical to this right hand side. Okay? So that's part A. For part B, hence express that 10 sin of x plus 8 cosh of x can be written in this form. So this is a bit like the harmonic trigonometric identities in normal maths. So if we say then that 10 sin of x plus 8 cosh of x is identical to r sin of x plus alpha, we know we can write this right-hand side in this form, where the a term will be replaced with x and the b term replaced with alpha. And then we can expand out this r. Now if we match up the terms, this sin of x will match with this one, and the cosh of x will match with this one. So r cosh alpha must equal 10, and the r sin alpha must equal the 8. So I've written these two here. Now we can use the Pythagorean identity in the formula booklet. We're told that cosh squared of x minus sine squared of x equals 1. So I'll write that down there. Now we can make cosh of alpha and sine of alpha, sorry, that should be alpha. So we'll make cosh of alpha and sine of alpha the subject, and then we'll square them and substitute them into this identity. So cosh alpha will be 10 over r, so cosh squared alpha will be 10 squared over r squared. And if sine alpha is equal to 8 over r, then sine squared will be 8 squared over r squared. And now we can substitute each of these into our identity here. So we'll get 100 over r squared minus 64 over r squared will equal 1. We'll move this r squared over to the right hand side and we'll simplify this to make 36. So therefore 36 will equal r squared. So therefore r must equal 6. Now to find alpha, we can use the fact that tan alpha is sine alpha over cosh alpha. We already know that sine alpha is 8 over r and cosh alpha is 10 over r. So we can substitute these in and then we can cancel out the r's. So tan alpha will be 0.8. Now in the question, we want alpha in the form of ln p. So if we go back to our formula booklets, we can take the r tan of alpha using this equation, and that will give us alpha in terms of a natural log. So if we take the r tan of both sides, alpha will be the r tan of 0.8, and then we can substitute this 0.8 in place of x here and here. So alpha will equal 1/2 of the natural log. 1 plus the 0.8 will give us 1.8, and 1 minus the 0.8 will give us 0.2. Then we can simplify this, and we'll get alpha is 1/2 times the natural log of 9. And now using the power rule, we can bring this half to the top over here, and this will be the square root of 9. So therefore alpha will be the natural log of 3. So 10 sine x plus 8 cosh x is identical to the 6, which is r, times the sine of x plus the natural log of 3. And that's part B. Then for part C, we need to use this to solve this equation. But you can see that we've just worked out 10 sine x plus 8 sine x. So I'll substitute all of this into this left-hand side. And now to solve this equation, we'll divide both sides by the 6. And we'll get 3 root 7. Now we can take the r sine of both sides, and we'll get x plus ln 3 will be the r sine of 3 root 7. And we can evaluate this in log form using a formula booklet. You can see that's given here. So I just need to replace the x with 3 root 7. I'll substitute that into here and into here. So we'll get the natural log of 3 root 7 plus the square root of 3 root 7 squared. And when you square with 3 root 7, we get 3 squared is 9 times with 7, we get 63. And when you add the 1 to the 63, we'll get the square root of 64. So we can tidy this up. We'll have a natural log of 3 root 7 plus 8. And now we can move the natural log of 3 over to the right hand side. And then we can apply the division rule to simplify this. And in the question, we need to write it as root 7. So we'll divide both of these by the 3. So we'll get root 7 plus 8 over 3. So you can see that Q is 8/3. Okay? Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you want more practice on hyperbolics, you can download the lessons and the worksheets from our website, mrmathematics.com. I'll leave a link in the description below.